Welcome, Floorball fans. With conclusion of the national anthem, it's almost time to head down to the court for primetime floorball action here between the Florida Vikings and the Ohio Aviators. Fans, what a game this is going to be. A lot of stars. It's the number one team in the NAFL rankings versus the number two team. This match going to have big playoff seeding implications for the Ohio Aviators. To start, it's the Florida Vikings recovering. They're coming off of a big win last night, 16-2 against the Texas Tornadoes. The Aviators also coming into this game with a lot of momentum. They've been steadily improving all across this season as an expansion team. The Vikings, of course, are defending Troy Cup champions. Matson losing the ball. Philip Lundmark driving down now in the center to Apis Arcad. He'll lose control of the ball. Emil Matson can't get it away. Chipped by Arcad, but it's able to go down all the way into Florida territory. It'll be Alexander Larson now with the ball. In their last match, the Ohio Aviators were able to survive a comeback attempt by the Minnesota Growlers to protect their standing in the league rankings. Alvin Hedstall working there with Max Lindborg. Florida, of course, coming into the back half of the regular season has seen an influx of new talent here, with Kevin Hoagland, Nicholas Ramirez, Pepe Yuha, Alvin Hedstall, all coming to the team for the back half of the season. They've certainly added a lot in terms of scoring. Alvin Hedstall over to Hoagland. He'll miss the shot. Recovered by number 11, Albin Nilsson of the Aviators. Nilsson driving down, chipping the ball into the center. Over to Tarika. He shoots. Saved by number 35, Peter Slad. Slad, of course, last year's All-NAFL first-team goalkeeper. He's one of the best in the league, and he consistently proves why. It's going to be awarded here to the Ohio Aviators. They're taking it fast. Tarika to Carlson. Back to Tarika. He'll send it off the boards. Around Hoagland. Joel Olsen taking it now. Deep in Ohio territory. He'll go to Nilsson in the center. Over to Tarika. Zach Mellon now far side. The Aviators, they're a team that has a lot of chemistry owing partially to the fact that a lot of their core players come from the former Utah Raptors team, including Kala Hodgstedt, who's out today for injury. Also, Zach Mellon, Philip Lundmark, and Albin Nilsson. It appears that their chemistry off the pitch only continues to grow. Looking at the court, it seems several members of the team have opted to grow or shave their beards into mustaches in solidarity with one another. Certainly an amusing team-building aspect there for Ohio as they continue to climb the ranks here in the NAFL and show the world that this expansion team means business. Kopetsky recovering there. He'll send it down the line. Ramirez to Larson. The pass to Pepe Yuha, driving in. Over to Kopetsky, out to Larson. Back to Kopetsky. He'll lose control. Olsen able to get there. The board's going flying. Play's going to be stopped to repair them as the boards break in the corner. It'll be a face-off to return. Pepe Yuha on number 4, Joel Olsen. Yuha, of course, a familiar face in the NAFL. Last season's NAFL MVP, also all NAFL first-team honors, and, of course, reigning champion as captain of the Florida Vikings squad last season. Returning here once again to make a big impact for his team. Olsen here. Go with the pass to Lundmark. Lundmark back to Olsen. Over to Mellon. The ball missing Olsen. Pepe Yuha with the pass to Wojtek Janacek. The spin around, going behind the goal. Missing his mark. Yuha still able to get there from the board. Shot attempt saved by Isaac Skug. Carlson's pass chipped there off the foot of Pepe Yuha, sending it down the line. Ramirez. The pass out to Larson, down to Kopetsky. Ball going off the boards there. Another boards pass this time taken by Olsen. Out to Mellon, off the boards. Hugo Carlson driving down, cross court to Philip Lundmark. He's got an angle. Pass behind him, intercepted by Kopetsky. Over to Nicholas Ramirez. And out to Lindborg now as both teams making substitutions. Jalevi. The pass to Malmström. Now down to Lindborg, close side. Out to Yalavi again. Matson in the center. Intercepted there with Tarika and Blixt. Chipped up in the air. Lindborg still coming away with it. Now it's a battle for possession in center court. Aviators coming away, but it's going to be a free hit awarded here. And that ball will go to the Florida Vikings. Yalavi taking it. Shot attempt goes off the body of Albin Nilsson. Recovered by Hannes Karlsson. Driving down Tarika against Emil Matson. Will lose control and retreat back to Ohio territory. Lindborg, far side to Yalavi. Yalavi driving in. The pass back out to Lindborg. He'll go far wing to Linus Malmström. Emil Matson now coming around the center. He'll pass back down to Lindborg. Driving in the center, Matson. Pass out to Yalavi. Far side, looking into Strum in the crease, but the pass sailing wild. Blixt now trying to box him out for possession. Yalavi able to get there. Looking for a man to pass to. Runka on him tight on defense. The spin around. Finally able to get it to Ollie Strum. Advantage play granted to the Vikings. The pass down to Max Lindborg in midcourt. Back to Ollie Strum. Weaving around defenders. The shot is good. Ollie Strum, number 87, striking from mid-range. The Florida Vikings, the first on the board here, 14 minutes, 54 seconds still remaining in the first. Your score now, Florida Vikings 1, Ohio Aviators 0. That's Ollie Strum's 13th goal of the season. He's a player who certainly shows a lot of hustle on the court, never quitting, especially when it comes to running a press defense. Heading down now. It'll be Olsen on Headstall for the faceoff. Recovered by the Vikings. But it's going to be called back. Improper faceoff. It'll be an Ohio Aviators hit. Olsen to take it. The pass to Owen Broom. Facing heavy defense by Headstall, going to the ground. It's going to be a 2-minute penalty there for the hit that sent Owen Broom flying. Team captain Linus Malmström discussing, but it appears that the call will stand. Number 26, Albin Headstall, heading to the penalty box right after giving up a goal. Now the Ohio Aviators going to have a chance to redeem themselves as they enter power play with 14:47 remaining in the first. Olsen to take it. Over to Karlsson to begin power play. Working with Lundmark far side. Aggressive defense from Malmström. Over to Zach Mellon at the point. Mellon now. Working with Karlsson. Olsen. Now with Tarika on the close side. Going deep. Finding Philip Lundmark. The board's going flying as Yalavi presses it out. More boards go flying. Collapsing there at the Florida Vikings bench. Hugo Karlsson appears to have taken a hard hit falling over them. Karlsson working with Lundmark now. Over to Mellon. Olsen, the lone man on the close wing. Mellon back over to Hugo Karlsson. Mellon backing up further and further. Now inching forward, the pass to Tarika. Tarika cross-court pass intercepted there. Malmström able to chip it up. Matson down to Malmström. The shot sailing wide. Boards going flying as Tarika driving back down. He'll get the ball to Lundmark. Just on the outside. Philip Lundmark, one of the top scorers in the NAFL. Second only to Linus Malmström as it stands. Pushing hard, the ball going towards the back of the goal there. Peter Schlad having to brace himself against it. Lundmark to Tarika. Down to Olsen. Shot attempt, wide left. Lundmark still with possession. And recovery there by Peter Schlad. Last 30 seconds here of power play for the Ohio Aviators. Schlad sending it down. Ramirez here on Karlsson. Ramirez overshooting. Karlsson to Tarika. He'll lose control. Janacek driving down now. The shot is good. Wojtek Janacek with a goal for the Florida Vikings despite being a field player down on the Alpen Headstall penalty. The Vikings still able to convert. 13 minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the first period. Your score now, Vikings 2, Aviators 0. Heading down now for the face-off. It'll be number 11, Albin Nilsson, versus number 10, Bepa Juha. The Florida Vikings still going to be down a field player for about 15 seconds. It's left in power play. Tarika out to Blixt. Chipped away there by Haugland. Taking down the entirety of the close wing walls there as he falls over them. You don't have to take chemistry to see that chain reaction. Now heading down for the hit, it's going to be Bepa Juha. He'll have support there from Haugland. Haugland driving around now. Stopping, able to get around Tarika. At the midcourt line, Headstall back in. Shot attempt by Headstall immediately upon returning to the court was saved there by Isaac Skug. Brunka to Andreas Blixt. Brunka down the boards, intercepted. Ramirez to Yalavi. Over to Williamson. Williamson, ball chipped away there by Albin Nilsson. Nilsson driving down. Over to Runka. Down the line, Hannes Carlson to Tarika. No goal. So close on the shot attempt there, but it's saved at the bell by Peter Slad. Albin Headstall. Over to Yalavi. Lindborg, shot sailing wide. Haugland unable to chip it in. It's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit in. Joel Olsen, cross court over to Zach Mellon, number 9. Back to Olsen. Kopetsky, the up man here in the Florida Vikings defense. He'll go over to Hugo Carlson. The Aviators taking their time here. The pass to Mellon. Over to Olsen around Kopetsky, but he's going to forfeit all that forward momentum. Kopetsky now continuing on the press. Janacek joining in pursuit. Mellon, the pass to Olsen. He's in double coverage. Juha able to force the ball out. Janacek driving down now. Shot attempt sailing high out of bounds. It's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit in. And the call changed here. Now the ruling, a Florida Vikings hit in. Juha working with Ramirez, far side. Off the boards, back to Ramirez. Over to Juha. Now to Larson, down to Janacek. The spin to get around Lundmark. Lundmark breaking up the possession there, going to the boards. Chipped away and up in the air. It's going to be awarded here to the Ohio Aviators to bring it back in. 11 minutes, 1 second left on the clock. The Vikings still with a 2-goal lead here over the Ohio Aviators. Brunka sending it down deep, looking for Alejandro. Recovered instead by Max Lindborg, number 88 of the Vikings. Lucas Yalavi. Cross-court pass down deep to Emil Matson. Back to Lindborg. Over to Yalavi. Again to Matson. This time the pass sailing a little wild. Fielded from the boards. Ole Strum. Over to Yalavi. Back to Strum. Matson. Deep shot attempt off the body of his own man, Ole Strum. Andreas Blixt going to the ground along with his goalie there. Several saves in rapid succession by Isaac Skug. Linus Malmstrom appearing to be chirping there with some Aviators players. Andreas Blixt backing him off after the referees stopped the incident. Olsen to Zach Mellon. Ole Strum on a full court press here for Florida. Nilsson off the boards. Chipped away by Lindborg. Olsen losing control. Malmstrom now with the ball in his own territory. Back to Jalovi. Florida's going to have a chance to set up their offense here again. Making substitutions. Albin Hedstall. And go back out to Alexander Larson. Over to Ramirez. Back to Larson. Working with Haugland, close side. Go down, looking in the center. Pass intercepted by Olsen. Taken back by Albin Hedstall. Advantage play granted here to the Florida Vikings. Ramirez driving down center lane over to Haugland. Cross court, Hedstall chipped away again, this time by Albin Nilsson. Nilsson driving down. He'll go over to Tarika, cross court, Hannes Carlson. It's good. Hannes Carlson, the player from FC Helsingborg, able to put the Ohio Aviators on the board. 9 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the first period. The Aviators no longer scoreless. It's now Florida Vikings 2, Ohio Aviators 1. That was Carlson's 5th goal of the season, coming off of an assist there from Jonathan Tarika. Now heading down for the face-off. It'll be Olsen on Kopetsky. And hard-fought battle for recovery there, but it's taken by the Vikings. Kopetsky's shot attempt goes off the body of Mellon. Off the backboards, Juha looking for Kopetsky. Deflected by Mellon again. It'll get out to Jalovi. Pepe Juha in the center. Wojtek Janacek missing the ball. A save by Isaac Skug. Had to dive to stop the ball from Kopetsky. Olsen on the close wing. Cross court to Zach Mellon. Philip Lundmark now at the point. Mellon back to Lundmark. Taking it slow. Not a lot of press yet from the Florida defense, but we know they're capable of running an effective full court defense. Carlson maintaining control. Some smooth moves over to Olsen. He'll miss the ball for a deep pass attempt, taking out some boards with him. Hit's going to be awarded here to the Aviators. Deep shot attempt by Hugo Carlson. Immediately off the pass, but it's saved by Schlad. Chipped out by Arkad. Can he get it out to Lundmark? That's the question. Chipped away by Lindborg. Now it's Lukas Jalovi driving down. He'll get it to Janacek. Off the boards to Jalovi. 8 minutes remaining in the first period. The Vikings here with only a 1-goal lead. Larson over to Malmstrom. Chipped up in the center there by Tarika. Kicked by Blixt. Sent down all the way to Nicholas Ramirez. Tarika pressing hard. Both of them going to the boards. Hit's going to be awarded here to the Florida Vikings. It was a very hard impact there on the far side. Looks like one of the boards may have ripped. Ramirez driving in center lane. He's got some speed behind him. The pass to Matsun stopped by Albin Nilsson. He'll get it past Malmstrom. Looking for a man to pass to. Taking out 3 boards while he's at it. Going to the ground. The ball's still in play. Runka. Shot attempt goes off the body of Larson. Carlson sending it down to Peter Schlad. Ends the drive for the Ohio Aviators. Malmstrom to Nicholas Ramirez. Facing some pressure there from Hannes Carlson. Slowly inching towards him, forcing him back into the Florida backcourt. Carlson retreating a bit now. Deep pass to Luke Williamson, but it sails wide, unable to be fielded. Blixt on Haugland there. Haugland coming out with it. Down to Larson. Back to Haugland. Losing control. Ball chipped out of bounds. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. Haugland to take it. In the crease. Off the foot there of Skug. Advantage granted to Florida. Haugland trying to find Hedstall. Second time Hedstall's shot sailing wide left. It's going to be awarded here off a holding call on Andreas Blixt. Florida again. Another foul going in their favor. And another free hit awarded to the Vikings. Headstall to Hoagland, coming around for a Michigan goal. He'll miss. Heading now to the corner. Hoagland sending it down to Ramirez. Over to Larson. Lindborg subbing in for Ramirez. New line coming out here for both teams. Lindborg down to Hoagland. Looking around for the sweep shot opportunity. It's posting out. Hitting the high bar. Another free hit awarded here to the Vikings, this time for a high stick call. Pepe Juha off the boards to Lukas Jalovi. Kopetsky now on the close side. Lindborg back to Kopetsky. Pepe Juha sending the ball out of bounds as he tries to field that pass. It's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit in. Zach Mellon set to take it. Joel Olsen sending Owen Broom in motion. Back to Olsen. Over to Mellon. 5.5 minutes remaining. Still a close game so far between the Aviators and the Vikings. Olsen to Owen Broom. Cross court to Zach Mellon. Owen Broom back to Olsen. Heightened pressure from Kopetsky. And Mellon. Pass goes off the body of Janacek. It'll be another Aviators hit in. New line coming to the court again here for Ohio. Mellon down to Joel Olsen. Back over to Mellon down the line. Carlson losing control. Wojtek Janacek able to get there first. The pass gets out to Lindborg. Down the line, Kopetsky. Looking in the center. The ball sailing wide. Jalovi's still able to get there. His shot attempt sailing wide out of bounds. It's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit in. Olsen taking it quick here while Florida makes substitutions. Lundmark driving down. Pushed to the ground by Ole Strom. It's going to be a penalty. It's a second penalty here against the Florida Vikings for a hard hit, sending an Aviators player to the ground. This time it's number 87, Ole Strom, heading out for a 2-minute bench penalty. 4 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the first period. Now the Ohio Aviators going to enter power play once more. They'll look to tie the game up here, only down by 1. It'll be Joel Olsen to bring it in here to begin power play. Over to Mellon, back to Olsen. Hugo Carlson losing control of the ball. The Vikings won't press here. Looking down with Lundmark, back over to Mellon at the point. Now coming back to Mellon. Down to Olsen. Looking for an opportunity. His cross-court pass going out off the body of Emil Matson. Lundmark to take the hit in here for the Aviators. Carlson over to Mellon. Cross-court, Olsen. Back to Mellon. Lundmark shot attempt just off the body of Peter Slad. Jalovi trying to send a counterattack down. He'll get too far ahead of the ball. Lundmark able to chip it out. Malmstrom there for support. Malmstrom with some smooth moves, driving down. His pass attempt, Emil Matson on the fast break, going off the body of Zach Mellon. It's going to be awarded here to the Florida Vikings off a push call as Malmstrom goes flying through the boards. Exactly 4 minutes remaining in the first. Albin Headstall to take it for Florida. Ramirez misses the goal, going on the outside instead. Over to Zach Mellon. Off the far wall, Ramirez to Hoagland. His shot sailing wide. Olsen taking out several boards, trying to get possession. Quite a comical sight, seeing him traipse around the side there, but still coming away with an important grab for his team. But that ball sent into open court by Albin Nilsson. Albin Headstall shot, missing the mark, sailing out of bounds. Now it's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit in. Zach Mellon to take it. About 40 seconds remaining in power play here. Carlson over to Zach Mellon. Down the line to Rika, far side, working with Carlson. Olsen waiting in the center. Lundmark to Rika. Carlson waiting for his chance. Zach Mellon shot attempt goes off the body of Ramirez. Lindborg on Tarika in the far corner. Spinning around, he'll get it out. Carlson, shot attempt off the helmet of Peter Slot, but it rolls in. But they're saying no goal call. What a wild turn of events as power play ends. Referee Vince Faso giving the no goal call there after the ball rolling behind Peter Slot, saying he got there in time. Ball sailing down now into the close wing in Florida territory as they make substitutions. Ramirez down to Juha, cross court, off the boards to Larson. Now far side, Janacek on Mellon. Mellon sending some boards flying. Janacek still with possession, ships it to Juha. Cross court, Alexander Larson, shot attempt, rolled up and out of bounds by Kopetsky. It'll be an Ohio Aviators hit in with just under 2.5 minutes remaining. Number 24, Andreas Blixt, heading out here ready to take the hit for his team. Blixt, of course, is the owner, president, and a player for the Aviators. Last season, playing with the Fresno Force. This season, when asked why he went and founded his own team, he said it's because he wanted to give back to the league that's given him so much and to the sport that's given him so much. And certainly with the Aviators' performance this season, Andreas Blixt has helped do a lot for the NAFL. It's going to be awarded here to the Florida Vikings. Ramirez. Looking for a man to pass to. Behind the back, Kopetsky looking for Janacek, sailing wide. Back out to Larson. He'll miss the ball there for that pass attempt. Tarika going to try and capitalize, running a press. He'll release just behind the crease. Wojtek Janacek in the center lane to Ramirez. Down to Kopetsky. The shot attempt saved by Isaac Skug. Rolling out of bounds. It'll be a Florida Vikings hit in with 1 minute 39 seconds left on the clock. Well, it's Thrum. The pass to Malmstrom to start it off. Jalovi's shot wide left. Olsen with a lot of hustle trying to recover here. The pass to Arcad going behind Lindborg. Jalovi there to recover for the Vikings. Back to Emil Matson. Down to Lindborg. Malmstrom, far side. Driving down in the center. This pass blocked by Carlson. Spin around Malmstrom. Over to Matson, saved by Isaac Skug. Carlson able to get it out of the box there. Going to go back to Malmstrom. Over to Emil Matson. Shipped away by Zach Mellon. Over to Joel Olsen. Less than a minute remaining in the first period. Carlson, far side. Out to Mellon. Far side, Carlson off the boards to Lundmark. The spin around always through him. Driving in close. Coming behind the goal. Looking for Olsen. Back to Lundmark. And it looks like a holding call on Lundmark there. Philip Lundmark looking for a push call on Lindborg, but it's going to be a Florida Vikings free hit. Nicholas Ramirez now, far side. Less than 30 seconds remaining in the first. Larson down the line, Hogland. Cross court, Ramirez now. In the center, Luke Williamson posting out. Kicked into the center lane. Alvin Headstall facing some tight defense, sending it down deep to Hogland. Facing off against Joel Olsen. Lundmark there for support, shipped away by Olsen. Time about to expire. Joel Olsen shoots as time expires. It's out of bounds. Your score at the end of the first period. It's Florida Vikings 2, Ohio Aviators 1. Floorball fans, what a competitive first period of floorball action here, primetime live from Winter Haven, Florida. You're not going to want to miss what comes next. We'll be back in less than 10 minutes with the second period between the Vikings and the Aviators. And, of course, stay tuned during the intermission as we'll be bringing you another exclusive NAFL player interview. Well, floorball fans, it's almost time to return down to the court for the second period of intense floorball action here between the Florida Vikings and the Ohio Aviators. Before we do, we'd like to remind you, however, that without our sponsors, the NAFL wouldn't be possible. Now, the Florida Vikings this season are sponsored by Salming. Supported by world-class players Papa Yuha and Kevin Hoagland, Salming is for people who train hard and don't make excuses. Play like a Viking with Salming. No nonsense. And as you know, we sent out our explorers to search the galaxy. They came back and told us there was only one stop for everything floorball, floorballplanet.com. Whether searching for yourself or for a club, your one stop, floorballplanet.com. The NAFL also has an official clothing partner for the 2023 season. It's Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, then you like Kempa. From head to toe, from shoe to shirt. And as we get ready to head down now for the face-off, you can trust that our game ball is the only game ball of the NAFL. Excel. Because like the NAFL, Excel chooses to rule. And also, floorball fans, don't forget that you can always find the statistics for every NAFL game, past, present, and future, online at statbeat.com/NAFL. From goals to assists to matches, rankings, and more, it's always available at statbeat.com/NAFL. Well, it was a tight first period here between the Vikings and the Aviators. Some controversial calls. We spoke during the intermission with number 9, Zach Mellon. He told us that on the ball that seemed to roll past Peter Slad, he felt that it was an incorrect call. His team deserved to be 2-2, tied with the Vikings. Still, as they face it, they're currently with a 1-goal deficit. We also spoke with Zach Mellon about the curious appearance of several mustaches on the Aviators team that weren't there before. He told us it was an impulsive team-building decision at the local Walmart near Winter Haven, Florida. Now coming down the boards, Malmstrom gets it to Matson, chipped up in the air. Carlson trying to break it up, and it gets out. Alexander Larson, pass going past Malmstrom. Off the backboards, Olsen facing off against Matson. The hit's going to be awarded here to the Ohio Aviators. It's already been a very physical game. 2 penalties for the Florida Vikings team off of some hard hits that sent Aviators players flying. The Aviators still very much so in this game. They've done a great job. Zach Mellon said he felt that his team could play even better than they did in the first. He said he feels like his teammates can be scared by the big names on the Vikings team. But when you get on the pitch, they're not good enough, according to Zach Mellon, that his team should worry that much or change their game. Albin Nilsson driving down now. He'll kick it out to Rika. Nilsson with a lot of momentum going to the boards there. He'll miss the ball after advantage play granted and the loss of possession. It's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit. To Rika. Down to Blixt. Cross court to Albin Nilsson. Back over to Blixt. Driving down. Tarika hopping out to give his teammate room. Hoagland coming around now against Nilsson. Advantage granted. Nilsson with the steal. And it looks like the ball crushed underfoot. The game will resume with a face-off. Heading down now, it'll be Zach Mellon versus Pepa Yuha on the face-off. Both members of the All-NAFL first team last season. They're high-energy players. Alejandro driving out now, looking for a pass to Broom. He'll miss his mark. It won't matter. Free hit awarded to the Ohio Aviators. Olsen getting ready to take it. Olsen to Mellon. Back to Olsen around the center. Working with Broom, far side. Mellon, pass intercepted there by Onachek. He'll get it out to Kopetsky. Down to Yuha. Ramirez now around midcourt, down to Yuha. Back to Ramirez. Ramirez now. Still taking the ball, working with Yuha. Now we'll go to the far wing. Alexander Larson driving down, chipped away by Owen Broom. Trying to get it around Ramirez, but he'll be able to hold on to it. Cross court, Pepe Yuha. He won't take a shot. Instead, he'll look for a pass, and it goes off the stick there of Zach Mellon. He'll lose control. Kopetsky's shot sailing high out of bounds, though. Chipped off the stick of Joel Olsen, and it's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. 17 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the second. Still scoreless here so far this period. Olestrom sends the ball down to Lindborg. Cross court to Yalavi. Looking in the center, intercepted there by Hampus Arkad. Driving down, nearly able to get an offensive drive started, but currently unable to after he loses possession. Malmstrom coming down the line. Chipped away by Carlson. He'll still hold on to it. Looking to Yalavi. Trying to find Strum in the crease. His shot attempt saved by Isaac Skug. Zach Mellon over to Joel Olsen. Back to Mellon again, down to Carlson. Through the legs of Malmstrom. But Malmstrom now driving down. Olsen trying to chip it away. It's a battle for possession in midcourt. Yalavi coming away with it with a pass to Lindborg. Back down to Yalavi, close side. Back out to Lindborg. Malmstrom into Yalavi. Shot saved by Isaac Skug. Chipped out there by Joel Olsen. Emil Matson appears to have taken an accidental hit there off the blade of Olsen. Deep pass to Hampus Arkad. Kicked away by Peter Schlad. And Arkad going to the boards. They're going to rule that shoulder-to-shoulder contact. Max Lindborg driving down. Advantage play granted to the Vikings. Lucas Yalavi now. Pausing with the ball. He'll hand it off to Nicholas Ramirez. Ramirez over to Larson. Back over to Larson around midcourt. Ohio desperately in need of some time of possession and offensive momentum this period to try and retake the lead against the Florida Vikings. Haugland cross court to Ramirez. Back over to Haugland. Shot attempt saved by Isaac Skug. The hit-in's going to be ruled here for the Ohio Aviators. Brunke getting set to take it. Allow support from Nilsson. Haugland, full court press here for the Vikings. Brunke getting it around, chipping it around Williamson, who goes to the ground. Blix cross court. Tarika back to Blix. The shot goes off the body of Ramirez. Caught by Schlad. Albin Hedstall taking a pause before he passes to Ramirez. Incredible speed, driving down. He'll have to spin around behind the back pass to Haugland. Haugland down the line, looking for Larson at sails wide. Tarika going to stop around midcourt here for the Aviators defense. Over 5 minutes have passed so far in the second, still scoreless. Albin Hedstall calling his players in motion. He'll pass off to Ramirez. In the center to Hedstall, over to Williamson. The spin around, it's good. Luke Williamson putting the Florida Vikings as the first on the board in the second period. Just slow enough that Skug wasn't expecting it. 14:26 remaining in the second period. Your score now Florida Vikings 3 versus the Ohio Aviators 1. The Vikings gaining on their goal differential here. Now taking a 2-goal lead over the Ohio Aviators. With a star-studded offense, it's hard not to. We'll see if the Aviators, like Zach Mellon said, can try and block that element out and play the level of play that they've been doing the last few games on their winning streak here in the NAFL. Kopetsky, far side, in the center to Papayuha, across to Yalavi. Looking towards the box with Janacek. He'll have to send it back down to Yalavi. Janacek shot attempt sailing wide out of bounds. And it's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit-in. Olsen and Mellon. Full court press there from Kopetsky and a double team. They'll be able to get it out to Olsen, however. A juke around Kopetsky and around Janacek, but it'll go to the ground. Right as he was gaining momentum, still it's going to be hit awarded to Ohio. Working with Lundmark. Down the line, Kopetsky sliding to the ground now on the court floor. Seems some traction issues there in Ohio territory. Olivi driving down now. Cross court, Kopetsky shot attempt. Sails off the backboard, still inbound, chipped up in the air by Olsen. Carlson trying to chip it out. Arcad with the steal there, cementing Aviators' possession. Mellon sending it down, looking for Olsen. Papayuha able to chip it away. Behind the back pass to Wojtek Janacek. It'll go to Kopetsky in the far corner, still in Ohio territory. Papayuha over to Lindborg. In the center, Janacek's goal saved by Isaac Skug. Another save by Skug as the ball rolls into the crease. He'll send it to Joel Olsen. Down now to Mellon. While Florida's making substitutions, the pass to Kirion. Over to Runka. The spin around, kicking it to try and maintain possession. Always through him, only increasing the press, but now Owen Broom with some breathing room. Mellon sends it down to Kirion in the corner. Facing off against Ramirez. He's able to get around. Driving down, coming around to the center lane. Back to Malmstrom. Chipped away by Lundmark. Lundmark gets it out. Kirion behind the back pass. Nobody's there. Ramirez with a lot of speed, able to get there first. The pass down to Malmstrom, close side. Cross scored. Matson shot high out of bounds. It'll be an Ohio Aviators hit in. Andreas Blixt. Deep pass. Sent down. Almost looked like it went off the body of Malmstrom. Matson now. Over to Ole Strom. To Malmstrom. The shot sailing wide left. And Runka going to the ground there as Owen Broom sends it down deep. Peterslad coming out of the crease to try and get there first. Alex Kirion still able to recover. Attempt for a Michigan goal missed. The goal put just out of alignment there, where Kirion's attempt fell short. Lukas Jalovi coming down the center. The spin around Carlson. Back over to Lindborg. Taking his time. Tarika starting to press. Hoagland left open on the far wing. Kevin Hoagland over to Hedstall. Lindborg back to Hedstall. Driving down the line behind the goal line now. The spin around. He'll chip it out to Jalovi. Boxed out by Nilsson, still able to get to the ball. He sends it out of bounds off the body of Zach Mellon. It'll be a Florida Vikings sit-in. With 11:11 left on the clock in the second period. Make a wish. Now heading back down to inbound here. It's going to be number 10, Papayuha. Down to Ramirez. To Juha on the close wing. Carlson forcing the pass back out. They go to Larson, far side. Wojtek Janacek. Back to Larson. Down to Juha. Ramirez now on the close wing. Down to Janacek, going behind the goal. Chipped up by Tarika. It'll still find Larson. In the center. Chipped away by Kopetsky. Juha and Olsen battling for possession. Juha taking out several boards. Mellon trying to come away with it, but Kopetsky able to get it over. Ramirez losing control of the ball. Zach Mellon coming away with it. Tarika, the spin around. We go off the boards to Joel Olsen. Deep pass to Nilsson. Down to Zach Mellon. Mellon in the center lane. Shot attempt goes off the body of Larson. Ramirez recovering here for the Vikings. He'll send it down. Kopetsky looking for Juha. It's just an inch too far behind him for him to get there. Nilsson driving down now. The spin around. Shot attempt wide right, out of bounds. It'll be an Ohio Aviators hit-in. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the second period. We're officially past the halfway point. Philip Lundmark set to take the ball here for the Aviators. He'll pass it down. Runka to Blixt. Back to Runka. Retreating back into Ohio territory in the face of a full court press. Kicked away by Matson. Runka returning the favor, sending it down the line now. Hampus Arcad with a little bit of breathing room in Florida territory. Off the boards, Carlson chips it up in the air. Malmstrom trying to take it. He'll lose control. Kick to the center to Ole Strum. He'll get the angle on Blixt. Arcad boxing him out. But it's going to be a penalty shot call. An important call here. Both teams clearing the court. Captain of the Aviators, number 9, Zach Mellon, discussing there with referee Vince Faso. And now getting ready for the penalty shot. It's the leader in NAFL league scoring, number 77, captain of the Vikings, Linus Malmstrom. 9 minutes, 25 seconds left on the clock here. As he gets ready to take this shot, he'll be up against goalkeeper number 1, Isaac Skug. A reminder that the NAFL follows IFF rules except one change. During penalty shots, the NAFL imposes a 15-second shot clock. With the whistle, Malmstrom beginning. A little pep in his step as he gets closer. Driving at the crease line. Going around, saved by Isaac Skug. Malmstrom trying the misdirection. An unstoppable force against an immovable object. And the Aviators will stay alive and hold the Vikings to a 2-goal lead so far. 9:25 left in the second period. Ohio still very much in this game. It'll be a face-off in the far corner to resume. It'll be Olsen here against Headstall. The ball chipped out of bounds. It's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit-in. Olsen to take it. He'll pass behind his own goal to Zach Mellon. Hoagland pressing hard. Down to Nilsson. Back to Mellon. He'll get the angle on Williamson. Nilsson driving down. Shot attempt. Chipped up off the stick of Ramirez. Albin Headstall, far side. Ramirez now on the close wing. Hannes Carlson, the up man on the defense, will get the angle on Carlson. Coming around close. Kept out of the box there by Zach Mellon. Double team defense coming away with the ball, but it's going to result in a free hit awarded to the Florida Vikings. Ramirez taking it quick. The pass to Hoagland. The Michigan goal is good. From behind the goal, reaching around. Hoagland like a magician there on the score. 8 minutes, 50 seconds still remaining in the second period. Your score now, Florida Vikings 4 versus the Ohio Aviators 1. It's Hoagland's third goal here in the NAFL. In his third game in the NAFL as he's come in for the second half of the 2023 NAFL season. Heading down now for the faceoff. Kopetsky recovering for the Vikings. It'll sail back to Schlott, who passes it out to Lindborg. Over to Yalavi. Back over to Lindborg. Down the line to Kopetsky. Hit around. Losing control of the ball. Lundmark sailing into the boards, taking 3 of them out. The ball rolling all the way to Isaac Skug, who will pass it to number 77, Samuel Runke. Philip Lundmark chopping it up on the close side. Pepe Juha able to come away. Lundmark losing his stick. Shot attempt by Juha, saved by Skug. He'll send it down to Lindborg. Over to Yalavi, close wing. Wojtek Janacek, pass intercepted there by Carlson, chipped up in the air. Lundmark trying to get there. He's got Juha from behind. Yalavi chipping it out from the front. Kopetsky, far side. Down to Lindborg. Over to Yalavi. Over to Kopetsky. Shot attempt sailing wide right off the backboards. Lucas Yalavi still with possession here for Florida. Less than 8 minutes remaining in the second. Cross court over to Janacek. Shot attempt off the body of Andreas Blixt. Juha sending it down to Lindborg. Over to Jalovi, close wing. Cross court, back to Juha. Completing the triangle, Kopecky, pass attempt to Janacek, kicked away by Skjug. Chipped into open waters, Wojciech Janacek still going to be able to pass it out to number 88, Max Lindborg. Back down to Janacek. Lindborg across to Juha, shot saved by Isaac Skjug. It was a powerful shot from down deep. Kopecky still in the crease while he passes it down. Runka sending it down the line, taken by Jalovi. It'll sail all the way back down again to Isaac Skjug. Zach Mellon passing it down to Albin Nilsson. Pass attempt going off the legs there, Kopecky. Janacek, ball falling flat, going again to Skjug. Tarika far side, off the wall to Olsen. Over to Mellon. Mellon, deep shot attempt, recovered by Petr Schlad. He'll pass it. Ramirez. Malmström losing some control there. That pass intercepted by Olsen. Shot attempt off the body of Ramirez. And now Emil Mattsson driving down here for the Florida Vikings. The pass to Malmström. Shot attempt saved by Isaac Skjug. Hannes Karlsson over to Tarika. Pass goes off the legs of Alexander Larsson. Malmström now facing defense from Hannes Karlsson. They'll get it out to Ramirez. Down to Emil Mattsson. Over to Ole Strum. Off the boards there to Larsson. Back down to Mattsson. Into Malmström. Shot attempt wide left. Ole Strum in the corner. Joel Olsen able to get a sneaky steal. Ball out to Hannes Karlsson. The problem is finding someone to pass to. He'll go to Tarika. Looking for Olsen. Chipped away by Larsson. Ramirez losing control of the ball there while his team makes substitutions. Ohio bringing in a new line as well. Malmström. Shot attempt off the body of Mellon. Another one off of Kyrian. Jalovi. Over to Haugland. Malmström shot attempt sailing high, wide, out of bounds. It'll be an Ohio Aviators hit in. Runka. Working with Broom there. Come to Zach Mellon. Collision there with Williamson. Penalty call. That call coming from the collision there that sent Zach Mellon over the boards. It's the third similar penalty here this game from the Florida Vikings. This time number 21, Luke Williamson serving for that contact. The Ohio Aviators going to enter power play here towards the end of the second period, facing a 3-goal deficit. This could be the chance they need to regain some momentum. 4:54 remaining in the second as the Aviators get ready to make the most of power play. Hugo Carlson set to inbound. We'll go to Olsen. With Tarika far side. Chips to Mellon. Mellon at the point. Over to Olsen again. Mellon shot it down just wide right. Schlad unable to catch it. And now Ramirez driving down. He has Janacek for support. He'll juke around Olsen. No pass yet from Ramirez. Still breaking around. Hit's going to be awarded here to the Florida Vikings. Ramirez. Pass intercepted there by Albin Nilsson. He's got Ramirez tight behind him. But a hit's going to be awarded here to the Ohio Aviators. Olsen to Mellon. Olsen, far side. He'll send it down to Tarika. Over to Mellon. Carlson now, close swing. Tight defense here so far from the Florida Vikings. Pass goes to Carlson. Back to Zach Mellon. Tarika to Olsen. In the center, Mellon's shot is good! Zach Mellon ending the drought for his team. 58 seconds into power play. The Aviators striking now during the second period. 3 minutes, 56 seconds remaining in the second. Your score now, Florida Vikings 4, Ohio Aviators 2. Zach Mellon, last season, one of the highest scorers in the NAFL. Highest on his team for the Utah Raptors with 34 points. Inaugural All-NAFL first team. Many calling him the future Hall of Famer, showing us why they're on that drive to the goal during power play. The ball heading down now, recovered on the faceoff by the Vikings. Pass over to Lindborg. Over to Headstall, far side, driving down. He'll lose control, go to the ground. It's going to be awarded here to Florida. Headstall to Hoagland, over to Malmstrom. Hannes Carlson, sending it to the boards. Hoagland sending a board out. Ball still staying in. Jalovi, shot attempt off the legs there of Albin Nilsson. Hannes Carlson on the fast break attempt. He'll lose some control, kicked away by Jalovi. Malmstrom. Shot attempt saved by Isaac Skugh. Ball going over to Hoagland. And Nilsson with a smooth spin, taking possession. Ball chipped out of bounds there by Hoagland. It's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit-in. 3 minutes, 5 seconds left on the clock in the second period. Alejandro set to take the hit. He'll go over to Runke. He'll pass back, looking for Mellon, but the ball sailing wide. Still be able to get it out to Runke. Double team defense, still coming away with it. Samuel Runke trying to drive down. He'll pass it back out to Mellon off the aggressive defense from Ramirez. Ball chipped up in the air. Kirian now trying to field it. He'll send it behind himself. Ramirez waiting there. Ramirez driving down, trying to find Yuha. The pass going wild. Another pass to Larson, sailing deep back into the Florida backcourt. Less than 2.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Now Janacek, close side. Ramirez losing control of that ball. Back down to Kopetsky. Cross court to Yuha, losing some control, still able to field it. He'll pass down to Larson. Over to Kopetsky. Ramirez. Behind the back pass to Kopetsky, shot sailing wide left, recovered by Isaac Skugh. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the second. He'll pass it to Mellon. Mellon driving down, sent to the boards by Kopetsky. Now in open waters, Alexander Larson will send it to Yuha, looking for Ramirez. Ramirez telling another player to grab it. It'll be Wojtek Janacek. Kirian losing a stick there off a push from Ramirez. The ball sailing out of bounds. It's going to be an Ohio Aviators hit-in. Zach Mellon taking the ball there. He'll send it down deep to Tarika, but it'll bounce out of bounds. Florida Vikings ball, 1:29 on the clock. Lindborg in the center. Hoagland, chip to Headstall. Back off the boards. Lindborg, Dialovi. Deep to Headstall. Looking for Hoagland in the crease. The ball missing its mark. Mellon sending it down the boards. Hannes Carlson trying to fight it out. Hit's going to be awarded here to the Ohio Aviators with 1:08 seconds remaining. Mellon to Olsen. Hoagland on a heavy press there. So is Malmstrom now. Both playing up. Olsen down the line. Nilsson sending it all the way to Tarika. Unable to get a pass off. Hannes Carlson there for support against Max Lundborg. Tarika going over the boards as they come out. They'll have to repair it in the far corner. Hit's going to be awarded to the Ohio Aviators. Tarika to Mellon, losing control. Hoagland driving down. He'll lose control of the ball, going behind the goal line. Nilsson going over the boards, taking out 3 sections. This hit's going to be awarded to the Aviators as well. 38 seconds remaining in the second period. Olsen to Kirion. Deep pass down, looking for Alejandro. Chipped away, Ramirez. The pass behind the back to Albin, Headstall. Now to Malmstrom, close wing. Able to evade Mellon. The pass to Haugland, his shot sailing wide out of bounds. 22 seconds remaining. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit-in. Haugland to Malmstrom. Shot saved by Isaac Skug. Sending his team down deep. Kirion able to get there first. Chip to the backboards. Owen Broom trying to find Alejandro. Larson taking the ball now to Headstall. Still driving down. Ball going to open waters. Time about to expire. Alejandro unable to get a shot attempt off as the time expires at the end of the second period. Your score, Florida Vikings 4, Ohio Aviators 2. The Aviators keeping this a close game. Floorball fans, you're not going to want to miss the third period of primetime action here between the Vikings and the Aviators. We'll be back in just under 10 minutes with it. And, of course, stay tuned during the intermission as we bring you another exclusive NAFL player interview. Fans of the North American Floorball League, we've just gotten done with the second period of tight matched play here between the Ohio Aviators and the Florida Vikings. I'm joined here by none other than Luke Williamson. Luke, how are you feeling after the second?
I mean, pretty good. I have a lot of big guys playing with a bunch of really good guys. They've been mentoring me, and I'm learning new stuff every shift. So I think we've been doing pretty good as well.
Now, coming in here, you're obviously coming to the second season of the NAFL as a new player. As you said, you're learning a lot. What's your experience been with the play that you've experienced, not just from the players on your own team, but from around the league?
I mean, yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of big guys. I'm not the biggest guy on the court, so it's been fun. I'm learning a lot, and it's good to play with these guys. It's fun.
And now heading into the third period, obviously the Aviators keeping it pretty close here so far. What do you think is going to be the key for your offense to start driving away and increasing the goal margin?
I don't know, just taking a lot of shots and passing it around. I think we're doing good, and I'm excited for the third.
Well, Luke, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck in the third. Floorball fans, don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss the exciting conclusion of play here between the Florida Vikings and the Ohio Aviators. Well, Floorball fans, after that musical drumline performance, it's almost time to go back down to the court for the third period of action between the Vikings and the Aviators. But before we begin, we'd like to remind you that without our sponsors, the NAFL wouldn't be possible. Now, the Florida Vikings this season are sponsored by Salming. Supported by world-class players Pepe Yuha and Kevin Hogland, Salming is for people who train hard and don't make excuses. Play like a Viking with Salming. No nonsense. Also, Floorball fans, you know that we sent our explorers out to search the galaxy. They came back and told us there was only one stop for everything Floorball. FloorballPlanet.com. Your one stop for everything Floorball. Also, the NAFL has an official clothing partner for the 2023 NAFL season. It's Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, then you like Kempa. From head to toe, from shoe to shirt. And as we get ready to head down for the face-off, you can trust that our game ball is the only official game ball of the NAFL. Excel, because like the NAFL, Excel chooses to rule. And a reminder, Floorball fans, all the statistics for this and every other NAFL game, past, present, or future, is always available online at statbeat.com/NAFL. Once again, that's statbeat.com/NAFL. Heading down now for the face-off, it'll be Olsen on Kopetsky. What a game of floorball this has been so far. It's been a tight-knit match here between these two teams. The Aviators certainly doing a great job hitting above their weight class against a star-studded offense here for the Florida Vikings. It'll be a Florida Vikings hit in here. Wojtek Janacek getting set, and the call actually going to be a face-off, it'll appear. And now recovered by the Florida Vikings after a chip from Albin Nilsson. Alexander Larson now in Florida territory. Larson intercepted there by Tarika, heading to the far boards. Goes off the head there of Jakub Kopetsky, going to call an injury timeout. That ball had a lot of momentum on it when it hit Kopetsky. Kopetsky still on his feet, walking back to his bench after taking that hard hit. And now getting ready to resume play. That'll be number 8, Lucas Jalovi against Hannes Karlsson. On the face-off, a gentleman's face-off there from Karlsson, sending it out of bounds. Jalovi now on the hit-in for the Vikings. He'll pass to Lindborg. Lindborg over to Jalovi. Trying to get the angle on Karlsson. He'll go behind himself to Hedstall. Jalovi now, close wing. Backing off now. He'll pass to Lindborg, close wing. Back to Jalovi, center lane, going down deep to Linus Malmstrom. Max Lindborg's shot. It's ruled good. A wild turn there. It hit the right post and reflected onto Isaac Skew's foot, the back of his shoe. And that's where it apparently bounced in and found the goal line. 18 minutes, 51 seconds left in the third. The Vikings, the first to strike this period. Your score now, Florida 5, Ohio 2. And now heading down for the face-off. That'll be number 10, Pepe Juha, against number 24, Andreas Blixt. And Peter Slad getting the ball there off the face-off. Larson to Ramirez. We go far side to Pepe Juha. Driving down, Ole Strum. Trying to get the ball out there. Runka chipping it away multiple times. Play will be stopped as the ball went off the foot there of referee Vince Faso as he went out of bounds. Olsen with the gentleman's face-off, sending it down into Florida territory. Ramirez now with the ball around the midcourt line for the Florida Vikings. He'll go down to Wojtek Janacek, far side, pass back behind him. Ramirez driving down, getting the angle on Arcad. In the center, Janacek's shot goes off the body of Arcad. He'll be sent back into Vikings territory. He'll have to pass back out to Alexander Larson. Hedstall coming in now, taking the ball. He'll pass to Ramirez. Albin Hedstall. From center lane, the pass to Hoagland, far side. In the center, pass intercepted by Arcad. He'll send the ball out of bounds. It'll be a Florida Vikings hit in. Malmstrom working with Yalavi. Back to Malmstrom. Down to Hedstall behind the goal line. Coming around now on the close wing. The pass to Lindborg. Over to Yalavi. Malmstrom on the far wing. Losing control of the ball there momentarily. He'll still be able to get it out to Yalavi. Down to Lindborg. Hedstall. Losing control, giving Olsen an in there on the defense. Chipping it towards the boards. Sent around Hoagland's. They're waiting for it. Hoagland looking in the center. The ball chipped away there by Joel Olsen. Olsen driving down the line, looking to get a pass off. Injury time out there. During the fast break, number 15, Alex Kirion colliding with number 35, goalkeeper Peter Slad. Kirion helping Slad back up to his feet. It's going to be a Florida Vikings free hit as a result. Hedstall. Passing down to Lindborg. Close wing to Hoagland behind the goal. Over to Malmstrom. Saved there by Zach Mellon. An intense battle inside the crease. A stick goes flying. Ball hit out of bounds. It'll be Florida's hit in. Pepe set to take it here for the Vikings. He'll send it down to Ramirez. He'll go down to Kopetsky. Cross court to Juha. Pass attempt. Misses a little bit. Janacek still able to get there. Kopetsky looking for a man to send it to. He'll go to Larson. Kopetsky missing the ball there. Albin Nilsson losing control, however, the ball going out of bounds. It'll be another Florida Vikings hit in. Ramirez over to Janacek. Back to Ramirez. Janacek driving in close. Kicked away there by Zach Mellon. Ramirez driving past Mellon in the far corner. Intense battle for possession. It's going to be a free hit here for the Vikings. Juha ready to take it. He'll go down. Ramirez. Back to Juha. Now at midcourt to Lindborg in Florida territory. Down to Wojtek Janacek. Kopetsky behind the goal. Off the boards to Pepe Juha. Spin around. Hannes Carlson able to get the steal there. Albin Nilsson driving down now. The shot attempt is good. Albin Nilsson putting the Ohio Aviators on the board off a fast break offensive. Drawing Peter Slad out away from the box. And he took the open net from the side. 15:53 remaining in the third period. Your score now, Florida Vikings 5, Ohio Aviators 3. That's Albin Nilsson's third goal of the season. His first two coming yesterday in play. Regardless, all season he's still been making a big impact for Ohio. Recovery there by the Aviators on the faceoff, but Yalavi coming away with the steal. He'll go sailing into the Secretariat's table and go to the ground. Certainly a hard hit there for Lucas Yalavi, but he's able to get up to his feet and head back to his team's bench. It was a hard collision there. The boards giving way as he collided. And now resuming play. Ramirez. Looking for a man to pass to. Will go far side to Malmstrom. 15.5 minutes remaining in regulation play. Driving down Malmstrom behind the goal. The pass to Edstall. Misses its mark. Alejandro on the counteroffensive here for Ohio. Alejandro on Larson in the corner. Larson coming out with possession. The pass to Malmstrom. Pass blocked by Andreas Blixt. Off the backboards. Ramirez. Coming around, the pass to Hogland. Pass missing the mark of Malmstrom. Hedstall recovering with a pass to Malmstrom. And the ball chipped up in the air there by Olsen. Driving down on the offensive, saved by Peter Slad. Hedstall trying to recover here for the Florida Vikings. The Aviators thrive on counterattacks created by the defense, breaking up passes. It's one of their keys to success in any game they find themselves in. And it's how they got the last goal with Albin Nilsson. We'll see if they can recreate it. Pepa Juha. Working with Lindborg. Far side. It'll sail down to the far boards. Mellon on Strum. Mellon held there by Strum. No call, however. Joel Olsen sending the ball out of bounds. It's going to be a hit in here for the Aviators. Zach Mellon set to take it. Mellon off the backboards to Albin Nilsson. Back to Zach Mellon. Nilsson over to Mellon. Close wing. Ole Strum on the press here for the Florida Vikings defense. Nilsson with some smooth moves, driving around Wojtek Janacek in Florida territory. Jalovi able to come away with it. Back in after his hard fall earlier. Jalovi, it's good! Lucas Jalovi coming back in and making an impression in a big way. 13 minutes, 40 seconds still remaining in the third period. Florida re-extending their lead to 3 goals. Your score, Vikings 6 versus the Aviators 3. Heading back down now for the face-off. It'll be Hedstall against Olsen. The Aviators doing a great job keeping this game continually within 2 or 3 goals against a star-studded offense from the Florida Vikings. Recovery on the face-off by Ohio. Brunka down the line to Nilsson. Over to Carlson. He'll find Tarika. Pass in the center. Olsen, he's got Hogland behind him. Chipped away there. Malmstrom driving down to Hedstall. Back to Malmstrom. It's good. Linus Malmstrom, top scorer in the NAFL, only extending his lead. 13 minutes, 23 seconds remaining in the third period. Your score now, Florida Vikings 7, Ohio Aviators 3. Heading down now for the face-off. It'll be Ole Strum against Joel Olsen. Recovery again by the Aviators. Mellon sending the ball down deep to Jonathan Tarika, still holding possession. It's going to be awarded here to the Ohio Aviators. Hannes Carlson. Pass intercepted by Lindborg. Olsen going to the ground, hit and awarded here to Ohio. Tarika and Olsen. Cross court. Looking for Mellon, but he was already driving down into Vikings territory, not anticipating the pass. Olsen, cross court. Jalovi chipping it away towards the boards. It's going to be awarded here to the Florida Vikings. Ramirez taking the hit here for Florida. He'll pass to Larson, driving down the center lane. Over to Janacek. Ramirez back again Behind the back, Janacek. Shot blocked there off the body of Runke. Down to Mellon, far side. Off the boards to Nilsson. Down to Kirion. Mellon, it's good! What a shot! Zach Mellon with what appeared to be a behind-the-back no-looker slap shot. Somehow sailing past all NAFL first-team goalkeeper Peter Slad. 12:29 remaining in the third. Your score now, Florida Vikings 7, Ohio Aviators 4. And after that goal, heading down for the faceoff, Hedstall versus Olsen on the faceoff, recovered by the Vikings. Jalovi with the ball. Cross court, Hogland over to Lindborg. Driving down, shot blocked off the body of his own man, Hedstall. Both players seeming to lose sight of the ball there. Malmstrom able to come away with it. Trying to send the ball around Blixt. Instead, will send it into Blixt. Goes out to Lindborg. Hogland now looking for a shot attempt. He'll miss the ball for a sweep shot. But he won't miss the second time. Kevin Hogland with a slap shot. Second time the charm there for the Florida Vikings. 11:51 remaining in the third. Your score now, Florida Vikings 8, Ohio Aviators 4. Recovery on the face-off there by the Aviators. Nilsson with the pass to Olsen. Down the line, Hannes Karlsson on the far wing against Larson. He'll send it back down to Olsen. Tarika missing the ball there, fielding the pass. Still able to get it out to Olsen. Joel Olsen sends it down to Zach Mellon. Cross court to Tarika. Out to Olsen. Mellon, cross court, goes off the body of Ole Strum. Ramirez recovering. Ramirez standing with the ball. He'll pass it finally to Larson. Down the line to Ole Strum. Back off the boards, intercepted by Albin Nilsson. But his pass recovered by Ramirez. Driving down over to Ole Strum. Shot attempt, sails high out of bounds. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. And now Kopetsky taking the ball to pass to Jalovi. Down deep to Pepe Juha. Kopetsky shot attempt. Saved by Isaac Skug. Joel Olsen with the pass over to Zach Mellon. Olsen down to Tarika. Back to Olsen in the center lane. Kopetsky rushing behind him. Mellon down deep in Florida territory, still driving. Carlson trying to keep it alive. The ball sailing out of bounds. It'll be a Florida Vikings hit in. Jalovi to Lindborg. Down to Janacek. Back to Lindborg. Intercepted there by Olsen. Good defense in the crease there from Ohio. It's going to be awarded here to the Aviators off an incorrect hit call. Olsen down the line, deep to Hannes Carlson. Trying for a lift pass to Nilsson. Now Lindborg trying to get control. It's going to be awarded to the Vikings. It's coming off of a push call. Larson getting ready to take it for Florida. He passes it to Hedstall. Over to Ramirez. Less than 10 minutes remain in the third period. Florida still enjoying a 4-goal lead over the Ohio Aviators. Hedstall to Hogland. Shot attempt sails wide, saved off the body of Isaac Skug. Mellon driving down now, off the boards, trying to get around Ramirez. He'll lose his stick in the crossfire. Ramirez to Malmstrom. Shot attempt wide right. Ramirez going to the ground there. Haugland, chip pass over to Larson. Down to Malmstrom. Again, shot just misses the mark, sailing out of bounds. This time it'll be a Florida Vikings defense on an Ohio Aviators hit in. 9:28 remaining in the third period. Samuel Runka set to take it for Ohio. He'll send it down deep. Goes off the body of Alejandro. Blixt unable to recover. Haugland driving in. It's good. Another goal for Kevin Haugland. 9 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the third period. The Vikings running up the score. It's now Florida 9 versus Aviators 4. And with that, Kevin Haugland has a hat trick on the match here against the Aviators. Ohio now battling a 5-goal deficit. Heading down now for the faceoff, it'll be Joel Olsen against Max Lindborg. And recovery by Florida on the faceoff there. Oles Thrum heading back to his own goal line. Pass to Lindborg. Down deep, kicked away by Runka. Nilsson able to get there. Yalavi stopping his momentum. Luke Williamson driving down. Shot saved by Isaac Skug. Nilsson with a quick pass to Olsen on the close wing. Tarika to Carlson. Shot saved. Lightning quick movements there. Tarika. Pass sent across the middle. Intercepted by Yalavi, but now chipped away by Holomoski. Williamson to Yalavi. At the line, Holomoski in the crease. Chipped out there by Joel Olsen of the Aviators. Facing defense there from Williamson. Joel Olsen. Deep pass to Hannes Carlson. Saved by Peter Schlad. Kicked away there by Olsen. It'll go down to number 88, Max Lindborg. Alexander Larson. Driving down, goes off the body of Tarika. Still able to get it to Wojtek Janacek. Chipped away by Blix, but Janacek able to get the ball out to Juha. Stolen by Runka. Can he hold on to it is the question. He'll get it out to number 9, Zach Mellon. Kopetsky on the press. He'll send it around the boards to Runka. Kopetsky again showing a lot of hustle, but off an incorrect hit, advantage play is granted to the Ohio Aviators. Zach Mellon now taking it a bit slower. Mellon crossing center lane over to the far wing. Kopetsky starting to press once more. Samuel Runka down to Tarika. Kopetsky wresting the ball away. Free hit's going to be awarded here to the Florida Vikings. The ball heading out there to number 10, Pepa Juha, ready to take it. Juha to Kopetsky. Shot attempt goes off the body of Andreas Blixt. Kopetsky driving in once more. Over to Pepa Juha, losing some control to Rika. Not going to press too hard. Lindborg, pass down, taken by Zach Mellon with ease. Down to Tarika, trying to get the angle on Pepa Juha. With support from Andreas Blixt. Pepa Juha still able to drive down. Over to Kopetsky, shot sailing wide left. Janacek, recovery pass is chipped out of bounds there by Samuel Runka. It'll be another Florida Vikings hit in. Heading down now to the corner. Getting ready to take the hit. It's number 26, Albin Hedstall. He'll have Malmstrom by him for support. Pass intercepted cross court by Nilsson. Haugland pursuing him tight. Trying to recover, able to come away with it. Haugland sending it into open waters. Nilsson losing control once more. Malmstrom. Pass intended for Haugland. Sent flying. He'll have to go back out to Lindborg. Yalavi, far side. Back to Haugland. Kevin Haugland coming around far side, looking for a shot opportunity. Chipped away there by Albin Nilsson. Free hit awarded to the Ohio Aviators. 6 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in the third. Zach Mellon getting ready to take it. Deep pass down the line. Lindborg recovering for Florida. Over to Headstall. Looking inside towards the crease, leading Lindborg, but it'll lead him just a little too much. Zach Mellon, the spin around. Over to Joel Olsen. Chipped away by Headstall with support from Haugland boxing him out. Olsen taking a hard hit there. Six minutes, 10 seconds still remaining in the third. Joel Olsen going to stay on the court, toughing it out for his team. Zach Mellon getting set to take the hit here. It's a penalty for Kevin Haugland, meaning Ohio about to enter power play. This could be the chance they need to gain some momentum this period. Hannes Carlson, far side. It's a star-studded power play defense here that Florida's running with the 5-goal lead. Pepa Yuha, Nicholas Ramirez, Alvin Headstall, and Lucas Yalavi. Mellon over to Carlson, back to Mellon, down to Olsen. Mellon losing control there, trying to field that pass, sent down the line. Pepa Yuha posting out, trying to capitalize on the loss of control there. Unable to make it happen this time. Jonathan Tarika, close wing. Over to Mellon, to Carlson, back to Mellon. Simon Olsen losing some control again. Yuha pressing tight. Olsen sends the ball wide. Zach Mellon heading down to the corner to retrieve it. And now Tarika, shot attempt. Saved there by Peter Schlad. Headstall driving down, getting the angle on Olsen, but his shot going to the outside of the goal. Hannes Carlson, over to Joel Olsen. Olsen to Nilsson in the center, chipped away by Yalavi as Nilsson goes to the ground. Hit's going to be awarded here to the Ohio Aviators. 4:51 remaining in the third period. Tarika, the pass to Hannes Carlson. Zach Mellon at the point. Olsen shot attempt just wide left. It's going to be a Florida Vikings hit in. Lindborg waiting to take an attempt. Will pass to Ramirez. Full court press here from the Ohio Aviators. Man-to-man defense. Nilsson staying on Ramirez. Ramirez getting the angle, driving down. Tarika releasing to come support. Nilsson going to the ground. Lindborg left open. Ramirez not passing, still trying to hold on to the ball. It's going to be awarded here to the Florida Vikings. They're taking it quick. Ramirez holding on the ball, opting not to pass. Going out to the far side, chipping it out of bounds. Hidden's going to be awarded here again to the Florida Vikings as power play nearly expires. Kevin Haugland sent back to the penalty box. Now he's back in. Another hit awarded to the Florida Vikings. 4:04 left on the clock. Florida once again at full capacity. Haugland missing the opportunity to chip the ball in there. Still with possession. He'll send it off the back boards. Malmstrom. Pass blocked there by Zach Mellon. He'll lose control of it. It'll go behind him. He goes to the ground. Headstall going over him. Zach Mellon not looking for a call. Just a little slow to get up. Ball heading down in Florida territory. The pass out to Headstall. Trying to get the angle on Blixt. Malmstrom, shot saved by Isaac Skug. Olsen on Headstall. Olsen trying to come away with it. It'll go to Haugland. Trying for a goal, saved again by Isaac Skug. Over to Andreas Blixt. Chipped by Headstall. This time, Haugland converts. Kevin Hoagland putting the Florida Vikings into double digits. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the third period. Your score now, Florida Vikings 10 versus the Ohio Aviators 4. Heading down now for the face-off. It'll be number 87, always through him on number 11, Alba Nilsson. Recovery by inches there by the Aviators, but now through him on a steal. They'll kick it out to Ramirez. Alejandro able to recover, heading now to the close boards. Ball chipped up in the air. Both teams searching for control. The hit's going to be awarded here to the Aviators. 2:57 remaining in the third. Alba Nilsson. He'll lose control. Always through him, capitalizing, driving down here for the Vikings. Ramirez now far side. He'll send it off the boards. Working against Mellon. Ramirez pushing around. Nilsson able to get it out to Runka. Left Williamson on him tight on the defense. Runka coming down the line once more. The pass to Alejandro. Spinning back around. Alejandro losing sight of the ball. Larson able to get there. He'll send it off the boards. Holomoski taking it now. 2.5 minutes remaining. Max Lindborg now in the center lane. The pass back to Yalovi. Down to Kopetsky. Yalovi to Janacek. Back to Yalovi. Down to Kopetsky. Close wing. Over to Pepe Juha. Back down Yalovi. Working with Lindborg. Shot attempt wide left. Runka able to get there before Janacek. Anticipating the bounce just a little more quickly. Runka still facing double team. He'll pass it out to Blix. Less than 2 minutes remaining. Blixed on Juha. Pepe Juha spinning around. Sending a lot of boards loose. Still, no decisive winner here in the possession battle. Finally, Juha able to send it down to Yalovi. Yalovi going behind the goal line in Ohio territory. In the center. He'll find Kopetsky, but the ball chipped out to the corner. Now it's Runka and Janacek. Gideon now recovering off the boards. Trying to get there before Pepe Juha. Gideon going to the ground. Advantage granted to Florida. Juha to Yalovi. Back to Juha. Shot attempt chipped away there by Owen Broom. Kopetsky. He'll send it back to Yalovi at the point. Kopetsky now with the ball. Lindborg working with Kopetsky. Less than a minute remaining. Pass goes off the feet there of Alba Nilsson. Spinning around. Now Broom. Coming down the line, Owen Broom's shot saved by Peter Schlad. Max Lindborg holding on to the ball while his team makes substitutions. Ramirez and Hoagland back in the last 30 seconds. Florida with a 6-goal lead. Malmstrom as well, and a star-studded squad here to end the game for the Florida Vikings. Gideon driving down in Aviators territory. Mellon on Hoagland. Hoagland sends it down to Larson. 20 seconds remaining. Shot attempt goes off the body of his own man. Malmstrom sailing up and away. Samuel Runka sends it down deep, looking for Nilsson. Ramirez able to get there first. 5 seconds left on the clock. Ramirez driving down. Over to Malmstrom. Shot sailing wide right. Time expiring. And at the end of the game, your final score, Florida Vikings 10 versus the Ohio Aviators 4. That concludes the NAFL's second week of play here, live from Winter Haven, Florida. We'll see you again in just a few days when we resume the last 2 games of the regular season in the playoffs and Troy Cup final, live from Fort Worth, Texas at the NYTEX Sports Center. And of course, don't leave the stream just yet. We'll be coming to you in just a few seconds with another exclusive NAFL post-game interview. Floorball fans of the North American Floorball League, we've just finished our second week of NAFL regular season play live from Winter Haven, Florida, with the Florida Vikings win over the Ohio Aviators. I'm joined now by number 66, none other than Kevin Hogland. Kevin, how are you feeling after the win?
It was a great game from us. We said we were going to keep the pressure up during the whole game. We had 2 games before, but it was different. They just fell down. Aviators tried to play some floorball today, and then it was a nice game to play.
Now, Kevin, you're coming over to America as one of the top players in the world, a world champion at that. What's been your experience coming over to play floorball in America to help develop the sport?
In Sweden we have dreamt of that the floorball should grow in the US, and I got the opportunity to come over here and help. So I'm just glad to be here, and it's a new experience to go back to this floor and so on. But it's really fun, and I love that it's so many people that really cares about this sport growing here.
And Kevin, obviously you're coming into a team that has a lot of talent, a returning champion team with some returning champion talent. What's been your experience melding with your team and building chemistry as you've come in the regular season?
In my home team, Physicality, we have a lot. We have the whole summer to build a team, and we have the whole season until the playoffs. Here it has to go fast, and we came here 1 week after everyone else. But this team is absolutely fantastic. It's so many nice guys in this team, and we have a lot of fun.
Very well. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Floorball fans, thank you so much for joining us for another week of exciting NAFL action. Don't worry, we'll be back next week with more NAFL floorball games coming to you live from Fort Worth, Texas, as we get ready to wrap up the regular season, head to the playoffs, and find out who's going to be the second champion of the Troy Cup. Until then, I've been your host, Tanner David.